Well, we're going to make some white clam sauce. I went out and I did a little clamming this morning. So what do we have here? 2, 4, 6, 17 clams, different sizes. Now, we do know that the traditional white clam sauce or red clam sauce is only made with little neck clams because those are the tender ones. Anything else is very chewy. Well, I make it, and this is going to be a creamy white clam sauce. And why? Number one, because the clams are larger, and number two, whenever I just chopped up the clams and put it out, everybody start picking the pieces of clam. So this way, it's smooth, the taste is there, and we have the clams, and we're going to put the garlic, we're going to roast the garlic first. So put the garlic in olive oil as soon as we get some color. That is going to go into the clams. And with that, we're going to put white wine and a little water, and that'll steam them open, and it'll also give us the stock. Doesn't take long to roast the garlic. That's it, just like that. So we'll pour that. And I'm not going to waste the little bit of oil that's left in that pan, because I'm going to take the wine. And we're taking a cup of dry white wine. First I'll just put it into there. No matter what you think, there is a little bit of flavor in that pan. And along with the wine, I'm going to put a cup of water. And this will steam the clams open. Nice tight lid. And as soon as the clams are open, then we'll go to the next step. Nothing wrong with throwing a few bay leaves in there. Smell the roast, oh, you can't smell the roasted garlic, but believe me, the aroma is there. While that's steaming, we put 1 tablespoon of butter into the skillet, and I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of flour with it. We're making a roux because we're going to thicken this white clam sauce. The traditional way is you sit down, they bring you the fettuccine or spaghetti, and you have little neck clams around the plate, in the shell, and when you lift up the spaghetti, okay, the flavor is there, but nothing clings to the pasta. That's why this is so much better. The sauce clings to the pasta, and when it's in your mouth, it stays there, and you get the full flavor. Exactly 1 tablespoon of flour mixed with the butter. That's going to thicken the sauce later. Because we don't want it too thick. And now this part is ready. Now if something happens where I need more, you know, this is my recipe, but it's like, you see how thin that is? We're going to add another half a tablespoon to that because this is not going to do it. Okay, let's look at it now. I put another half of tablespoon into the skillet with the butter, because whenever I make a roux, I don't like it to be too thin, because then you're putting more grease, fat into the dish than the flour. Now even that is too thin. So I do think my recipe, which I thought I remembered, is 1 tablespoon of butter and 2 tablespoons of flour. So we'll add another half and that should take care of it. Now you don't have to use butter for the roux. It just adds to the flavor. You can use oil, olive oil. That's the texture I want. And this little bit, you'd be surprised, thickens up the sauce enough where it'll cling, but it won't be thick. So the roux is ready. Put that off to the side. Wait till later, heat it up again, and then we'll use it. Now it's almost about 10 minutes, and some of the clams are opening. So in just a few more minutes, of course the smaller ones open first. Oh, that's not true, it is a large one. I just guess that's just the way it is. So as soon as they all open, we'll take the meat out. I'll show you what to do. This is relatively simple. As I said, it's relatively simple if you follow the directions and you know what to do. What's going to happen is the liquid here, that clam stock, with the wine, I'm going to pour into a quart container and let it settle for about a half hour. Any remaining pieces of sand will go to the bottom. It doesn't have to be strained, and you just pour it off slowly, and we'll measure the amount of stock we have and know the exact amount of roux to thicken it. That's the crucial point. Well, it's been about 10 minutes or so. You can remove the open clams. No reason to have them cooking any longer. I'm telling you, when you roast the garlic, oh, it tastes so much better. That doesn't mean you have to do it, just that it adds to it. So we're gonna use salt and pepper, and of course we're gonna have to use. You don't have to, but we're gonna have to use some heavy cream in this dish today, and that's what makes it. A little oregano, salt and pepper, fresh clams with the stock. Delicious. Well, the clams have been taken out. The only thing we need to do is remove the garlic for later. So you might as well just throw it into the roux, because all of that's going to go into the sauce. The bay leaves we don't need, just need the garlic. And as I'm scraping the garlic, I can feel a little bit of sand in the bottom, but that's never a problem, and the finished dish will not have any sand in it at all. And once I take all the garlic out, I'm going to pour this into a quart container, and as I said, let it sit. Any sand that's in there will go to the bottom, and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, so I poured all of the stock into this quart container. I'm going to let it sit for about a half hour. Then I'm going to slowly pour it into, not this pan, but another one a little smaller to make the sauce. And when I get down to the bottom, just before the sand starts to go up, that's enough. Now, I'm looking at this, and with the amount of clams and this, and a half a pint of heavy cream, four people will really enjoy their plates of pasta. Well, it's been over a half hour, and now slowly we pour the stock